Hello everybody, this is Cheri at djsundry.blogspot.com, and today I have a card share for you. It's not a tutorial, it's just a share because I've already done the cards, and maybe sometime in the future I'll do more of a tutorial with this process that I use, but for today it's just a share. And I was inspired on these cards by watching Jennifer McGuire when I was trying to learn how to use the main product of this. This is embossing paste, and I had never used that before. I actually only have this one bottle of it, and it's translucent, and I chose a translucent so I could put different colors on top of it if I chose to, and so that's kind of what I am doing with that today. I had some paper. This is some paper that I picked up at my local scrapbooking store that was going out of business, and so I picked some of this up in gray, and then I have some in green that I just found in my stash of papers. It's just paper I've had for a long time, no names or anything on it. The inks that I used for my rubber stamping were both Memento inks. I used Tuxedo Black and London Fog. I use these two for stencils to use with the embossing paste. This one is a Heidi Swapp. This one right here is a Heidi Swapp chevron stencil that I used, and then this one is actually not even a stencil. This is a embossing plate from Spellbinders. It's a metal, but I was going for a spring fill, and I wanted to use these flowers, and it worked really well. The one thing I would say about these Spellbinders is these are metal, but they're very delicate. This one here ended up getting bent a little bit with this little clover off the tip of the flower. So be real careful with them, but I really like the effect that I got from using that. The stamps set that I used for the messages were from this Hero Arts. This is All Occasion Messages, and I actually used a few different ones in here because I did a few different types of cards. I used the brand new LG ribbon pack from 3 Girl Jam, and I have used quite a lot of this on recent projects, and I really like this pack. So I will link you down to the 3 Girl Jam store down in the little thing below, so that you can go check this out. And I'll also give you a discount code if you're interested in ordering anything from the 3 Girl Jam store. If you use that discount code, you'll get a bit of a discount. So that's really a lot of fun. My base paper that I used was white paper from Paper Tray Ink, and it's just a big pack of white that you can get. And then I also found some gray, also from that scrapbooking store that I used. I used 2 different colors of embossing powder. I used clear. I used white on one of them, but I really didn't care for the effect of the white when I was doing it. When it was all done, it was okay, but I really liked the simplicity of the clear. So I am going to show you these cards. You can see here at the bottom I rounded the corners with the corner chomper from We Are Memory Keepers, and which this is rare for me, but I left the inside of the card blank. I usually don't do that, but I just really like the simple elegance of these cards. So what I did is I cut my pieces of colored cardstock to be pretty much the size of an A2 card. It may have even been completely the size of an A2 card front. And then I trimmed them later. So now I have all these extra pieces so that I can use them on other cards. I can use them from strips on other cards. But the reason I did that is because I wanted to be sure to get nice coverage, and that if I made a mistake, I would have plenty of room to cut it off. So I wanted to have plenty of room there, and I wish I had even gone just a little bit wider, but it worked out okay. But the next time I do it, I probably will go, instead of 4 1/4 wide, I'll probably go even 4 1/2, just to give myself a little bit of extra room. But I put the embossing paste on, and then I sprinkled it with embossing powder, and then I let it dry for a couple of hours, and then I went back and heat set my embossing powder. And it's just really just very simple, and I think you can see the pattern there without any problem in there, and it's really textured and just very, I think it's simply elegant. That's what I'm calling it. It's just simply elegant. So this is the first one, and this is using the gray ribbon. I used some glue dots to kind of hold down my bow, just to give it a little bit of extra. That's really the only glue that's holding the ribbon at all, because I just tied it around from the back. So that's the first one. I'll move to the next one. This one's in gray, and I have to say I think the gray ones are my favorite. I'm really not a gray person, but I really like the way these gray ones turned out. Just really pretty. Again, very simply elegant. I probably will go back on this one. I'm feeling some roughness on the edge and kind of clean that up just a little bit. So that's that one. This one's just got a different saying, and on this one I use, and on the other one, this is where I use the London Fogs. With the grays, I use the London Fog. This one actually says, "You are so special to me." And I'm actually doing some of these because I needed another thank you note. One's a birthday card that I needed, and then some of them are going to be sent for a swap over at artandsassy.ning.com. So that's what these are designed for. But again, just simple, elegant, I think elegant cards. Now this one's a bit different and a bit more fun. I kind of like the fun feel of this. I use that chevron on this one, and I use silver embossing paste. I forgot to tell you, this is from Ranger, and I just used that silver embossing paste, and it really made it pop. Very similar to like the glittering technique that I showed about, oh, probably a week or so ago, except for it was using the embossing paste, and it definitely has dimension. I mean, if you could feel this, too bad there's no fill-o-vision, but if you could feel it, you could feel the texture of the card, and it's just really, really simple. And that's a "You Are So Special to Me," but I did a second one, and this was for a birthday card that I needed. And this one I didn't tie a bow. I actually put a little brad in here. This was for a masculine one, and my husband and my niece thought it was a little bit too feminine with the bow, so I added a brad instead and just tied the knot. And just a simple happy birthday card. And so then this next one, this is another one of the green ones. And you can see kind of where it's a little bit darker. I'm not sure really what causes that. I kind of like the different textures and colors in there like that, but it's just the way it turned out by the time it was all dried. And then the last one is the one that I did with the white embossing paste. I mean, in powder. And this was probably one of the earliest ones that I did when I was putting the, when I was trying the technique. I think this was like the second or third panel that I did, and I have to say it wasn't as clean of embossing, so you've got some white inside there so that you don't have the distinctness in some of the flowers down towards the bottom, but I think it's still pretty. After I got it on the card and I matched it with the card base, it almost made it look like tone on tone, even though it's really white embossing powder, but the way it all worked out, it doesn't look that way. And I do like this one. I wouldn't say it's my favorite one of the group, but I do like it. So it's just something that takes a little bit of practice, but it's still a lot of fun. So thanks so much for stopping by today, and remember, take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day. Bye.